When Gottfried, Helga, Rowena and Salazar came together, they created a pace so special that every kid of my generation wanted to go, but we couldn't because we didn't receive our owls. But there seems to be something similarly magical about Bengaluru, because it seems to be the birthplace of the Indian electric two-wheeler revolution. Ather, Ola and even TVS operate out of this very same region. And today we have something with us that we've been waiting to ride for a really long time. So is the simple one really the chosen one? Well, for starters, whoever seems to have brewed the polyjuice potion to design the simple one hasn't done quite the right job, because while it does look like one of its rivals, it isn't exactly the same. And that's because Simple has gone for a futuristic, youthful, sporty angle for the one. And to that extent, there's nothing quite like this shape which evokes that sort of a feeling. There are some interesting details which sets it apart, and I love those, especially these alloy wheels, the winglets on either side, as well as the LED Panigale V4 inspired taillights. Now, if you want to take a closer look at the simple one, why not go and check out our walk around video that's already live on our channel. Our friend Shumi has brought a detailed look of the scooter, including its features and whatnot. So I'm not going to go deep into that. But while it does live up to the sporty angle, the fit and finish levels as well as the plastic quality that is offered here on these test vehicles is far from desirable. Now, Simple says that they will be much better in the production version and when the deliveries commence sometime later in October. But right now, there's still a lot of work left to be done in this regard. So what has Simple been doing for the past 12 months? Well, Simple says that they've been working a lot on the performance side of the one for the past 12 months. So the motor, while it's still producing the same nominal and continuous peak power rating, the claimed acceleration time has gone from 2.85 seconds to 2.77 seconds. And that's quite special. So this scooter isn't going to be like Ron Weasley's old shooting star. But is it a Nimbus 2000 or a Firebolt? Well, that's what we are here to find out. Now, the advantage of having such a powerful motor is evident when you are lining up for a quick launch, because the simple one just shoots off the line far quicker than any electric scooter that I have ridden so far, and that includes the Ola S1 Pro as well as the Ather 450X. Even the current iteration, which I have not ridden, the motor performance hasn't changed on that, so this scooter definitely feels quite quick. But having said that, I would have liked the sonic mode to be a bit supersonic. What I meant is that the 0 to 40 kmph run still feels a little subdued from the saddle. So what the Simple engineers have told me is that they purposely dialed down the crazy throttle response so that it doesn't scare the rider. But hey, that's what that top crazy riding mode should be about, because this is an electric and you want to experience all of that 72 Nm of torque sometimes, and it has to be there. So they said that perhaps when the final version of this comes out, there will be that sonic, that craziness which I want. In dash mode, in ride mode, the throttle response is dialed down. In dash mode, the power remains the same, but the top speed is capped off at 85-90 kmph, and it still feels properly sporty. In ride mode, which is the mode that most people are going to be ending up using the simple one in, it feels quite natural. The riding experience is quite seamless. So even when you're riding in the city, there is no lag between the throttle opening and the scooter moving forward. Something that we didn't quite like on the Ola S1 Pro or even the Oben Roar. And this seamless riding experience has only been there so far on the Ather 450X, and we are glad that it's also present on the simple one. There is also the eco mode where you get the maximum range. Now we couldn't test the range obviously over here because we are in a closed environment and this is far from our ideal testing conditions. But having said that, they are saying that there is around 200 kilometers of range in real world conditions with eco mode, and it's not like you're a hazard on the road. So you can roll on easily. It will go up to speeds of 30-35 kmph and sustain those speeds quite effortlessly. I just wish that the top speed was capped at 50 kmph instead of the current 45 in eco, as it would have made easy for buyers to overtake traffic while not compromising too much on range. So sustaining 40 kmph, no issue. Just the ceiling to be raised to say 50 kmph so you can make those quick overtakes and then again settle down. What I also like about the performance aspect of it is that I rode this scooter majority of the time in sonic mode and never did it go into a thermal shutdown. Obviously, ambient temperature is cooler around this time of the day, but still we drained the battery down to 50% and it's still going to a thermal shutdown. The only catch here is that sonic mode is not activated once the charge levels go below 50%. Dash, ride and eco still remain. So that is the motor performance of the simple one. It is a firebolt like in that sense, but I wish the feeling of the firebolt was present. Like I mentioned earlier, we couldn't quite do a range test of the one. But the cool bit here is its hybrid system of a fixed and removable battery pack. The removable unit gives it around 60 kilometers of extra range in eco, and simple will also sell you an additional pack, thus taking the range on offer close to 250 kilometers in real world riding conditions. And well, to remove the removable battery pack, you don't need to say Wingardium Leviosa.
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
What you just need to do is lift it out, because at 7.5 kilos, it is one of the lighter battery packs available in the market. Plus, Simple will also sell you a 1.4 kilowatt home charger that reduces charging times dramatically down to 2 hours. Even once its fast charging setup is operational, the 2.5 kilometers per minute rate of fast charging is going to be the quickest in the current Indian EV space. Due to the provisions made for the removable battery pack, usable storage space does go down to 27 liters, which should be enough to fit an Indian full face helmet. Whether that's going to be enough to carry all your Sub-Zs and stuff is what we will keep for our road test video. But how are the rest of its scootering sensibilities? Simple engineers have struck the right balance between a sporty and comfortable riding posture. So the bars are nice and tall. The floor isn't too high, and even though I have size 44 boots on, there is enough room on the floor to move my legs around. The seat height isn't too high, isn't too low, so it's just the right amount for somebody like me and even shorter riders to find their footing comfortably. What I would have liked though a little bit is for this slope to be a bit lesser, because right now what is happening is whenever I'm braking, I am sliding a bit forwards. Also, the seat texture could have been improved, could have been slightly more grippy. But as it stands, the posture is fairly upright and fairly nice to bring out the best of its handling capabilities. Now, if you know your Potterverse well, you would know that the Firebolt was not only the fastest broomstick in a straight line, but also was lightningly quick to turn. And the same holds true for the Simple one. You can properly point and shoot it into the bends. Everything on the scooter comes alive when you are cornering. The chassis, the pliant suspension setup inspire great confidence for when you are carrying great amount of lean and especially at good speed. The tires, well, Simple is testing out two different sets of compounds, both provided by MRF. I don't think so that these ones will make it onto the final version. The ones that were there on Manal's test unit on Bike Dekho, go ahead and check it out over there. Those might just make it, because these felt a little squishy towards the absolute end of the cornering performance, whereas those still felt properly stiff and firm to inspire great amounts of front end feel. Speaking of cornering clearance, the only hindrance that I found on the scooter was this panel, which ended up scraping a fair bit. Now, Simple engineers weren't too happy with me, but I ended up telling them that they've developed a great handling package. So if there was just a chamfer panel over here, it would increase its cornering potential, and they've said that they would take these considerations into account when the scooter finally goes into production sometime later this year. So as a corner carving tool, this should serve you quite well. Now, the brakes are another impressive bit about the Simple one. The units might be fairly similar to what you get on the Ather 450X, but the feeling, especially when compared to the Gen 2 Ather 450X which I had for a long-term purpose, the feeling is quite different. The bite is very strong, there is great amount of lever feedback, and you can modulate the brakes quite well, bring the scooter to a stop in an instant. Plus, when you do go hard on the levers, there is none of the sidestepping business or the feeling of the front washing out. CBS calibration is brilliant, so the retardation is matching up to the performance capabilities of the scooter. At rupees 1.1 lakh ex-showroom for the single battery pack option and rupees 1.45 lakh for the dual battery pack option, the Simple one does seem to be quite an attractive proposition. While other EV manufacturers have managed to dazzle us with their styling and features and whatnot, and have fallen flat when it comes to the actual rideability of the scooter, in this scooter's case, it's quite the opposite. Because the foundations, the motor, the ease of rideability, the seamless riding experience is what makes it so great. Switching from an ICE to an electric doesn't need much thought. You don't need to rewire your brain, which you would have to do on some other products. And that's the great bit about this scooter. But we are still hesitating a bit because of these plastics and the fit finish levels. They are far from being desirable, and especially when it's coming at the premium end. So Simple will have to get its act right by the time this pre-production scooter turns into the final product, which is sometime around October. And for their sakes, we certainly hope they do succeed. But until then, is this the chosen one? Well, we'll answer that question also during our road test review video once we get the scooter back at our HQ. So that's it. I am Jehan. I solemnly swear I have been up to no good, but you can help us out by clicking the like, share, subscribe and bell notification icon, because they won't magically click themselves. And until next time, mischief managed.